is our sacred.
I have seen how this ends, Taljari. Your time has come.
You won't get the better of me, Sin.
Rid yourself of your delusions. The hour grows late. My son runs out. We that dreamed. We nightmare. We that are one.
Charge
His
arrow.
message burns. We that fulfill. We that fail.
Alright, so that was a showcase of the breach clearing potential and bossing potential of the build I've been working on in Path of Exile 2. Hello everyone, this is DemonAce227. If you're familiar with the channel from the mobile game, welcome back. If you're new, glad to have you. I've been playing Path of Exile 2 since it came out. A little bit behind, being a working dad and everything, but this is what I've been no-lifing when I can do it. The build I'm going to be showcasing is the Deadeye Ranger. Technically, somewhat of a lightning build, but I'm not using lightning arrow. This build is not new. It is not something I came up with. I'm doing a variation of the Fub gun and named Vic builds. I'll link their build videos in the description if you want to go check them out. Mine is just a take on what they've done and, kind of getting what I can get based on the currency I had available. So Fub Gun's build is a little more costly but more well-rounded. Named Vic's build is definitely cheap. Mine's around the same price. His is using crit damage though. I am not. Let's go ahead and get started. You're going to be looking at anywhere from 6 to 10 divines to get started on the build. This is not going to be what you're going to end with. This is mainly the build that I was stuck. I was trying to make crit work. Crit's super expensive, but this build super cheap. So this is going to be the build that is going to get you the currency, and you're able to farm the various types of content you need to get the currency to make a better build. As you saw from the clips though, it's still very, very good build. Definitely gets the job done. So we're going to go over the items first. The first thing you're going to need is the Widowhail crude bow. This is very cheap on the market right now. Roughly, so for a 247% increase with 3 sockets, I think I spent 50 exalts. Not bad. You don't need the 3 sockets, but if you can find one, yeah, get that. I'd say about 240-45% is what you're looking for, but you can definitely go lower if you need to. On the sockets, we're going to be socketing the soul core that gives you 90 or a 30% increased elemental damage with attacks. I got 3 in there, so that gives me 90. Since this bow, the effect gives you bonuses from your quiver, we're doing elemental damage, no physical in this build. Going on to the helmet, another unique, very, very cheap one though. I got this one, I think I got it no sockets for 5-10 exalts, if that. I socketed it and corrupted it and got a double socket. Pretty much everything that I got here that has more than 1 or 2 sockets, I corrupted myself and gave it the 3rd socket. You don't have to do that, but it definitely helps if you get lucky enough to roll that. For the sockets, we're putting Chaos Resist. This helmet, for the price, gives you a ton of energy shield, which helps with your defenses, keeps you alive. The rarity of items is also nice. Very, very good helmet to start off with. Eventually, you'll want to get just a flat energy shield helmet. That'll give you more total energy shield, but this one definitely gets the job done. Our quiver, this is very important. It's where most of the damage is going to be coming from because of our bow. It gives you more bonuses from your quiver. The passives you're going to be looking for are 10, I'm sorry, not 10. That's what the passive number is. You're looking for cold damage to attacks, lightning damage to attacks, projectile speed or bow damage or damage with bow skills. Bow damage isn't on there, so damage with bow skills would be a good one. Projectile damage is a good one, but you do want to find cold and lightning damage for sure. It also has to have the 2 level of all projectile skills. Since we're not doing crit, we're getting most of our damage, our big damage from this affix right here, plus 2 level to all projectile skills. The bonuses to your equipped quiver from your bow and jewelsy socket also applies to the level of projectile skills. So it says plus 2, but I'm actually sitting at level 30 on my bow shot, as you can see up there. The dexterity is very nice to have for stacking your hand of wisdom. Again, the equip bonuses from quiver really helps with that. As well as equipping the rest of the gear without having to put dexterity in your passive tree. 9 mana per enemy killed. I didn't really need it. I just needed a decent quiver with these stats that was affordable. So that last stat on there, attack speed's pretty good. Crit hit or crit damage could be useful for later on. Yeah, the mana is not necessary at all because we're not using mana with our main attack. So since I didn't have perfect stats, I got it very affordable. I want to say I spent 60 exalts, 60 to 80 exalts for this, so pretty affordable. Onto the amulet. I have changed this out recently. I'll explain why later, but everything you saw in the clips that I posted was using the items that I'm wearing right now, or that I'm showing you, and I'll show you which ones I traded out and why. Main thing here, you want 40 to spirit, at least 40. Rarity's nice to have, and the plus 2 to level of all projectile skills. And then I have some strength on there for life. That helps with life. So with the quiver plus 2, getting the bonuses from the bow and the passive tree, that gives us plus 8. Just from that right there, and then the plus 2 is how we get to level 30 on our bow shot. So yeah, main thing you have to have on here is spirit, 40 spirit, and 2 levels to projectile skills. Everything else up to you. So pretty affordable there. I think I got this one for 10, 20 exalts. The rings. Here we want more flat cold damage to attacks and lightning damage to attacks. Do not get percent lightning damage or percent cold damage. We want flat. Anything flat based, because we're not actually doing lightning damage from the bow shot inherently. We're adding lightning damage to it through flat and the skill gems. So percent doesn't help that much. So you want the flat, cold lightning damage on your rings. Mana is good. Rarity is really good. Intelligence is very nice to have for, again, boosting your hand of wisdom. Didn't mean to push that button. So intelligence for boosting your hand of wisdom, and the any resistances that you're lacking, try to find those on the rings as well. You'll see this one, I've got double resistance, again, intelligence, cold, and lightning damage. Both the cold and lightning damage on these are pretty low rolls, which makes these affordable. These definitely could be better, but as you saw, it still works. Again, this is just kind of the build for getting you to a better build. Your armor, you want good evasion rating and energy shield, and eventually I'll probably change that out to just evasion rating. Anyway, extra energy shield does help. You want the I got plus 56 to spirit and plus 42 up here, and I've got an additional 8 spirit left over. So, 48 to 50 spirit on here should get you everything you need. And then triple res this one's pretty expensive. To get triple res plus the spirit and, decent evasion and energy shield, you're probably looking at 1 divine for this. So right now we're up to maybe a total of 3 divines for the build. But definitely triple res and spirit on the armor is a must. Your Hand of Wisdom and Action wraps. You can get this from the Zest boss fight, the Breach boss. I actually did get one to drop, which ended up being better. Before this, I was using a 1 to 8 lightning damage attack. Hand of Wisdom in action. And then I fought the boss and killed him and actually got a better one. So this typically goes for about 2 divine. The price might be dropping because, everyone's doing Breach, so these things are everywhere. But you can expect about 2 divine to get one of these gloves. If you can kill the boss and get one to drop, that'd be better. But it increases attack speed per 25 dexterity and gives you lightning damage per 10 intelligence, which is why we're looking for intelligence on our rings and wherever else we can get it. The belt is not that important. It's mainly for rounding out your resistances and giving you some more max life if you can find it. If you can find a triple res belt, it might be a best in slot thing, but I have another belt we might be using later. Anyway, yeah, life and resistances. Make sure you get 75 of all resistance. With the gear that I had equipped here, I am sitting at 75 resist, and because of that, I was able to socket chaos resist in all the gear, and I'm sitting at 70 chaos resist. That really helps. Boots, 30% movement speed minimum, I would say. 35 would be great, but 30's just as good. Max life, rarity, and resistances. Again, main thing on your items, especially your belt and boots and rings, as well as your armor. Pretty much, yeah, everything that's not a weapon, you want to make sure you got resistances going on there. If you can find just plain energy shield boots, I think they can get int on them. These boots should be able to get int, but I couldn't find any when I was looking in the trade to that had int. So the ones with just flat energy shield should give you some int, and that might be worthwhile. The evasion rating on this isn't really doing much. I am sitting at 66 with it on, and I go down to 62 with it off, so not a whole lot. Potions, yeah, that's really nothing on the potions. I will say though, on the utility belt, on your belt, try to get utility belt. That way the potions give you 20% instantly, no matter what the affixes are. But yeah, basically just increase the amount recovered, and whatever else you can get doesn't matter too much. I am using the freeze charm. The one thing that seems to kill me if something does actually get a hold of me is freeze. I've seen if I get frozen, I'm dead. Stun doesn't last too long, but if I get frozen, I'm pretty much guaranteed to be dead. So those are the items. Yeah, 2 divine for the Hand of Wisdom, 1 for the armor, a round 1 for the quiver, and 2 or 3 for the rest of the gear and exalts. I was able to. You can definitely budget this to what you need. You will be making a lot of currency with all the extra content you'll be able to do easily using this build. So that is the gear. I've got extra gear down here we will be going over. Actually, there is one we kind of need to talk about now. For anywhere from 80 to 100 exalts, you can get the Thief's Torment Emerald Ring, or I believe you can use a Chance Orb and try to roll this. If you watch the boss clip, you notice my mana didn't go down at all. I could spam skills as much as I needed to. If you are playing the build and you're noticing that the combo is not working because you're running out of mana so quick, I mean, it does really good damage, but you run out of mana and then you have to wait a little bit, do some boss mechanics, and it's pretty likely you'll die. This is how you get around the mana issue. And the only thing I don't like about the ring is it takes away my damage from the rings. I went from, let's put that back on. So 75 right there down to 57. So you take a pretty good damage loss from that. And you have to worry about resistances if you have resistances on your rings. So this is about 100 exalts. I do recommend picking it up once you get the currency. If you do end up getting this ring, upgrade your amulet next. I was able to get this, whoops, there you go, this amulet for, I want to say it was another divine, that gave me more resistances. As you can see, it's got the spirit and the resistances on there and the plus level to all projectiles. So we can see if I have this Thief's Torment ring equipped, my resistances are no longer capped. If I put this amulet on, still no longer capped, but doing better. And eventually we will be upgrading to the Ingenuity. That's going to be later. I'll go ahead and show you though. Once we put the Ingenuity on, well, now something's wrong. There was something I did. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm thinking of something else. Thief's Torment off. This ring on. Yeah, Ingenuity or Headhunter is the belt we're going to be looking for. So if you take this belt off, we are in the old amulet. There we go. So now we're no longer capped on resistances. If I put the new amulet on, now we have better resistances. But it also helps with the Thief's Torment. So, sorry, that was kind of all over the place there. All that to say, this is a very good ring for bossing. I switch to it every time I go into a big boss, and I no longer have the mana issue. And as you saw, I'm melting. It's going pretty good. And on to the skills. So the reason we're not using Lightning Arrow, let me see if I can get one real quick. We'll just do an 18.
Use Lightning Arrow.
There we go. It did not go in my inventory. That's great. I was not prepared. Sorry, it's my first time making one of these. Lightning Rod, Lightning Arrow. There we go, level 19. Okay, if I go to here, mana right now is just 48. However, with all the level of projectiles, if I stick this on here, you can see 150 mana. That's per cast. There is no way we can sustain that with this build. So we are not using Lightning Arrow. We are going to be mainly using Bow Shot for your mapping. Alright, just your regular bow attack. As you can see, it doesn't use mana. And we're still getting all of our Herald procs with it. That's just because of this bow, quiver, and all the extra cold and lightning damage we've stacked up. The socketed support gems on this skill, we're going to be looking at Martial Tempo, Primal Armament for more elemental damage, Innervate whenever our Herald kills an enemy, or if we just kill him with our bow. We are, if you go to Advanced Info, we are doing lightning damage, 1900 to 29,000. We are doing cold damage as well. So Innervate anytime enemy is killed with shock. It doesn't have to be with this skill either. Just anytime a shocked enemy is killed, we get... Oh wait, no, it does have to be with this one. Anyway, whatever. We get 35% more damage as lightning damage. Ice Bite. Kill a freezing enemy with the bow shot, 35% more damage is cold damage. So we're constantly shocking and chilling enemies to freeze them. Lightning Pin, I didn't really have. I've tried long shot on here. Heft doesn't do anything because we're not stacking physical damage. Lightning Pin, I figured it doesn't hurt to have it on here just to help with regular mapping. So that's bow shot. Ghost Dance, we use this when we're going into a boss fight. Right now I have Grim Feast on for mapping. This doubles our energy shield. Right now we're at 1,000. Yeah. Once Grim Feast, you collect all the Grim Feast stacks, you are at 2,000 energy shield. And you'll see down here, Grim Feast. I don't have any supports in it. Don't really need it. But Ghost Dance, when we're done mapping, we're moving on to a boss. We're going to take Grim Feast off and put Ghost Dance on, and that makes it to where just getting hit gives you your energy shield back. Grim Feast doesn't do anything for bosses. That's why it is just for mapping. Lightning Rod, this is our big damage. I'll go ahead and show you the combo now before we move on. You saw in the video, we put the orb of lightning down. We shoot the lightning rod, and orb of lightning just continually change the lightning rod for you. Here we go. And so you keep spamming lightning rod, lightning rod, lightning rod, and it chains all the lightning rods from just that orb of storms. Very, very big damage. That's your main combo. Also, you know, conductivity on the ground to curse and lower their resistances. Sorry, that was loud. So lightning rod, our sockets are going to be concentrated effect for more area damage, scatter shot for more rods, conduction, more chance to shock. This is going to help proc our cast on shock. Close combat. Most of the time you're going to be standing pretty close to the enemy, and to get these lightning rods in them, they'll stick in the ground, but as long as they're around the enemy, you're going to be doing more damage. Lightning Infusion for extra lightning damage. Cast on shock. We're going to be shocking all the time. This is what's shooting out the ball lightning. As you saw in the boss clip, it shoots out a lot of ball lightning. This is where the mana becomes an issue and why you want the Thief's Torment ring. You can continually cast this. As you saw, it just doesn't stop. But ball lightning, cast on shock. 40% increased energy gain from impetus. Inspiration for less cost on the ball lightning. In deceleration, the ball lightning, it doesn't really do a whole lot of damage. It does, however, activate the lightning rods to do their damage. Kind of like Orb of Storms, the ball lightning also activates the lightning rods, which shock the enemy and cause more ball lightning, and it's just an endless chain. So deceleration slows them down so they can proc more of the lightning rods quicker, or throughout their travel. Herald of Ice and Herald of Thunder, these are going to be for mapping. With your bow shot, you saw that I am proccing Ice and Herald of Ice and Thunder. Herald of Thunder, long shot, cold infusion, glaciation, and lightning mastery. You want, there might be even another cold skill I can put on here, I'm not sure, but you want cold damage on this. The Herald of Thunder will hit enemies. It will do cold damage, and if it does enough, it'll freeze them, which then procs the Herald of Ice. Herald of Ice, you want magnified effect for more area, elemental focus, just more damage, lightning or cold pin, and cold mastery. Then we have Grim Feast. Again, that's just for mobbing. I'm gonna go ahead and, okay, yeah, it's back on. And conductivity for bosses. Persistence, so it lasts longer. Curse Ground. And Heightened Curse for supported, 25 more effect. Wind Dancer, this gives you a lot of your evasion. We have Maim, Blind, and Clarity, just for extra mana regen. I may take Clarity off and put whatever the one is that gives you life regen. That's probably what I'll do for that one. But that's what I have right now. Cannibalism, I think that's what it is. 1 second. Orb of Storm's not doing damage. We're just here to proc the lightning rods. We have Chain, Overabundance, Font of Rage, and Unleash. I use Font of Rage. As you can see, when I put it down, we start gaining rage as long as you're near it. If you get away from it, no more rage. You have to be near it. So, gaining rage, and our damage is going up. That's why we use Font of Rage. That should do it for the skills. If I missed anything there, please let me know. Sorry, this is kind of all over the place. It's my first time doing a build guide. Hopefully I am making everything clear and concise. Let's go to the passives. I'll just kind of go around the tree and show you what I did. We didn't get anything here in the beginning as far as damage. We got a little bit right here for projectile speed and attack speed, but all of this we wanted the extra skill points to get other stuff. Up here, this gives you big defenses with the extra evasion and energy shield. Some move speed and attack speed, 5% extra damage as lightning from Essence of the Storm, very nice. The Essence of the Mountain, extra cold damage and freeze buildup. You do want the freeze buildup to proc the Herald of Ice for mapping. So this is pretty important right now until we can get more damage later. Let's see, coming down here, this is more effects from bonus quiver, or more bonus effects from quiver. This is how instead of, just +2, we're getting +8, plus, whatever we have, we're getting +10 total. So this is very important. We're getting more movement speed and evasion here, and coming up, getting this jewel socket. We are going to get extra evasion rating from these two nodes, Bestial Skin and Enhanced Reflexes. The attack speed per 15 dexterity, we have quite a bit of dexterity, so this is a decent amount of damage. Let's see. Coming up, we are going to get Magnitude of Chill and Shock from Unbound Forces. Helps you freeze and helps you do more damage to shocked enemies. Another jewel socket coming up to get Kite Runner, movement speed, projectile speed, and projectile damage. Projectile speed does add to our damage with another node, so it's basically 30% increased damage. Very good to have. Coming back down to the main path, we're going to branch off right here, get Catalysis? I'm probably saying that wrong. Increased elemental damage with attacks, very nice to have, and another jewel socket. This one, I'm not sure if I want to keep this one. I haven't tested without it, but just more attack damage can't hurt. Come down, get another jewel socket. We're going to come up here, and this is where we get the projectile speed also applies to damage with bows. So any projectile speed you have on the build also is just extra damage, including from your quiver. You want Calming Calamity for more Herald damage, Herald of Ice and Thunder. Another jewel socket up here. And we're going to go all the way up. We're going to grab this jewel socket up here. The main thing we're up here for is more lightning damage. More is a multiplier, not an additive. So 15% more is big lightning damage. Alright, back down here, we're going to start heading down this way. The movement speed and skill speed is actually a surprisingly good amount of damage from these few nodes. Skill speed gives you a decent amount of damage. The movement speed is nice as well. Coming down, another jewel socket here. And I did go over and grab this jewel socket here. We'll go over jewels in just a second. One thing we want to make sure we grab is the lightning rod passive. Lightning damage with non-crits is lucky. We are not doing crits. So when we do lightning damage, it rolls anywhere from 1900 to 30,000. Lightning damage being lucky means it'll roll twice and pick the bigger number from that damage range when it does damage. So a very good node to have for this build. We're going to come up here lastly. I'm level 91 right now, so this is kind of where it ends. More chance to shock and damage penetration lightning resistance. Come up here for more elemental damage with attacks, and I'm going to, next skill level, we're going to get the freeze build up. I notice right now I'm not freezing and proccing Herald of Ice as much as I'd like to. This should fix that for where I'm at. If you get better rolls on your gear, like more flat cold damage on your rings, you probably won't have an issue with this, and you can path somewhere else. But more freeze build up is kind of what I'm looking for next. If you aren't here in this area yet and you need more freeze build up, you can always go up here to pressure points and you get more freeze build up from here. That'll help get you your Herald of Ice procs if you're doing like breaches and you're not seeing Herald of Ice pop up as much as you think it should. We do have the Doomsayer passive allocated on our amulet. Pretty cheap. There we go. Paranoia, Guilt, and Disgust, and gives you more increased damage on your heralds, so pretty decent amount of damage for mapping. That should do it for the skill tree. Jewel sockets. Early on, you can find decent rolls for probably 10-20 exalts each. You're mainly going to be looking for damage with bows, projectile damage, projectile speed, lightning damage, cold damage. Bonuses from quiver are the ones that are pretty expensive. I got lucky and had one, this one. I had this one drop. It's got increased lightning damage and bonuses from quiver. If you can stack your quiver, do it. That's where you're going to get most of your damage from these for just regular emeralds. But they are pretty expensive, at least a divine each for anything that has increased bonuses from quiver. But yeah, just projectile damage, speed, bow damage, anything like that is kind of what you're looking for on jewels. Eventually, you're going to want to be looking for the time loss jewels. Those are stupid expensive and hard to farm for, so for now, take what you can get. What else do we have? We can talk about what we are trying to do with this build. As I said earlier, this isn't the end-all be-all build. It is just a great build for getting you off the ground and able to make currency where you can buy better gear. So one of the things I've been doing, the first video I posted for this, I've been doing the Inscribe Ultimatum Trials. That's like the first thing I did. You saw how quickly I was doing it and how easy it was. This is guaranteed currency you get 3 soul cores. These all sell for a decent price. If you get the Ass Kappa soul core, it's like 2 divines for one of them. So good, guaranteed easy currency to get from these, and it doesn't take that long. You also get these fates that you use for fighting the boss. The Deadly Fate in particular sells for a pretty penny, so that's what I use to get a few divines and buy the next pieces of gear for the build to kind of get it to the next level. So Inscribe Ultimatum is a great place to go for starting to get currency for upgrades. If you are going to be doing maps for farming your currency, the biggest piece of advice I have is pay attention to your modifiers. If you're playing a map and you're not proccing your heralds, which is going to be the main thing for mapping, make sure that you're not playing maps that have the increased monsters have increased ailment threshold and monsters have increased resistances. Okay, if you have a map with those suffixes, either one, I tested it with this build where one map has elemental resistances, one map has threshold, and I did like a tier 14, like this one right here, that has both of them. and it's just not doable. You're not proccing your heralds, and you're not having a good time. So stay away from those suffixes. Otherwise, yeah, mapping's pretty good. The breaches are they're pretty fun with this build. I'm enjoying it. The next pieces of items you're looking for are going to be Headhunter if you're doing mapping. This is great for breaches and just mapping in general. You kill a rare monster, you get their modifiers for 20 seconds. This actually dropped for me the other day. I didn't even know it was possible to drop it, but it did, so I have it, which was pretty sick. The other way to get it is you can chance orb regular heavy belts, and you have a possibility of getting it, or you could spend 6 to 7 divine to get it. So if you're doing mapping, get the Headhunter. If you are not doing mapping, look for the Ingenuity. Ingenuity is, again, 6, 7 divine for a decent roll. I got 48% here. It can go up to, I think, 100%. That's going to be more like your 30 divine range, maybe even 50. For around the 90%. But for six divine, I got 48% increased bonuses. So if we go to skills, 88,000. If I equip this, 96,000. So 8,000 extra damage just from that. So I'm going to be running the Ingenuity belt and doing the trials for currency. That is also why I made sure to mention the amulet. Now that we have the Ingenuity belt, it gives you bonuses from your rings, meaning I've got a load more resistances than I actually need. I'm sitting at 100 on the resistances right now. I don't need that much. So I found an amulet that makes it to where I'm still capped even when I have this belt on. And now I can reroll my rings for less resistance, more damage. So I'm gonna hang on to this belt. This is what I'm gonna be running with. And I'm not going to be doing Inscribe Ultimatum anymore. It is guaranteed currency, but what I'm going to be working on is the Trials of Sekima. I wasn't running it to begin with because it's not guaranteed currency like your rewards from the Ultimatum are. I've ran it 3 times and I've gotten jack from it. I've made nothing off of it. But the stuff that you can get is the time lost jewels. If you're lucky, you can actually get one that you can use. Time lost jewels are the jewels that give you a radius in your passive tree that give you bonuses based on the passives inside that radius. So the time lost jewels can be a huge damage increase for whatever build you're going for. You can either find one that works for you, or you can find one that works great for another build and sell it for a couple divines. The boss drops a unique relic at the end of it. Let's see. I'm trying to sell a couple of them. Yeah, like this guy up here. Yeah, so that's a unique relic that you get from fighting the boss. There are a couple unique relics in there that are worth anywhere from 1 divine up to like 30. So you can make good currency from it. And you can find really good gear from it. It's just not guaranteed on every run. Like I said, I've done 3 and I've made nothing from it. Inscribe Ultimatum, I can do 3 runs and I can make roughly a divine orb in currency. So that's going to be my plan. I believe that's everything with the build. I don't think I skipped anything. I'm going to keep working on it, making it better. Maybe once I get to tier 4 Zesht, we'll call this, iteration of the build done, and move on towards working towards a crit build. Crit is going to be the end of the build. That's going to be more consistent damage without needing. You do need more guaranteed stats, more precise stats that make it more expensive on your bow and quiver. but everything else, I think it's a more survivable, well-rounded build than what we're trying to go for here. So that'll be what we're working towards. This is going to be the build that gets us there. So I think that's everything. Sorry it was a bit of a long one, kind of all over the place. If you have any questions or I missed anything, please let me know in the comments. I hope everyone enjoyed, and have a great day. Whoops, thanks for watching.